of Mr. Garvey. And here to give you an impression is a man who will transform you, who will make you think that Garvey is still with us. Senghor Bray.
Thank you. Members of the Negro race, I want to thank you for your resounding welcome on this, my 115th birthday. It is beautiful to see you all gathered in my honor and for a just cause. But let me remind you, my work has just begun. When the history of our suffering is complete, then future generations shall have in their hands a guide by which they shall know the sins of the 20th century. I know, and I know you too, believe in time, and we shall wait patiently for 200 years if need be to face our enemies through our posterity. When my enemies are satisfied, in life I shall come back, or in death to serve you even as I served before. In life I shall be the same, in death I shall be a terror to the foes of Negro liberty. If death has power, then count on me in death to be the real Marcus Garvey I want to be. I may come in an earthquake, or a plague, or a pestilence, or as God would have me, but know that I will never desert you and make your enemies triumph over you. Would I not die and go to hell 1,000,000 times for you? If I die in Atlanta, then my work will only have just begun. But I shall live. I shall live in the physical and the spiritual to see the day of Africa's glory. When I am dead, wrap the mantle of the red, black, and green around me, for in the new life I shall rise up with God's grace and blessings to lead the millions up the heights of triumph with the colors you well know. Look for me in the whirlwind or the storm. Look for me all around you, because with God's grace, I will come back with millions of Mata from America and from the West Indies and from Africa to aid you in your fight for freedom, liberty, and life. With God's dearest blessings, I leave you for a while. One love.
More words. May we please have Senghor Bray, UNIA, come forward, please.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. Come on now. The ancestors are waiting and watching. Too many children all over the world are still unjustly dying. Is that not right? We want our reparations now. The UNIA, ACL, founded in 1914, is still here today. I serve as the 3rd Assistant President General, and I have with me the 2nd Assistant President General, Professor Alfred Rowe Tutu, the 2nd Assistant President General, Redmond Battle, who's a very young man, been in the struggle for a very, very long time. I have the President of the Woodson-Banneker-Jackson Beta Division right here that was reestablished in 1980. But what we came to do today is to support all of the organizations and you for reparations, repair, and your right to repatriate and not only claim wherever you are, but Africa. Are you ready for that? No, don't sound like it. Don't sound like it. Up, you mighty race, you can accomplish what you will. Stop us being content with the food of chickens. It's about time that we reclaim Africa and our human rights. Is that not right? We didn't just organize billions in the 20th century just to organize millions. Here we are in the 21st century looking to organize billions. Y'all hear me? If we want to go through that door that we've been knocking on for some time, the UNIA for some time has been knocking on the door to get justice for our people for some time. But I'm going to have the second assistant and the fourth assistant share with you. But let me say this, brothers and sisters, as I bring them forward. This is serious, serious, serious business. The ancestors that stood right here on this mall when they were subjugated as chattel property and treated lesser than animals and human beings, their spirit is right here today, driving us right now. Are we going to let them down? Are we going to let them down? We going to rise up, right? We going to rise up, right? We going to get reparations in the 21st century. Is that not right? Brothers and sisters, the Right Excellent Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, born, no, I'm not giving a date, born 115 years ago, is thoroughly represented by all of us. Without any further ado, the elder, Second Assistant President General, Redmond Battle.
Up, you mighty race. Up, you mighty race. You can accomplish what you will. What was his will? One aim and one object. And I said to you, one God, one aim and one destiny. Thank you.
Good evening. I am here to let you know that the Garvey movement never died. We exist, even until today, in Costa Rica, in Canada, in South Africa, in the United States, and many other places. Our problem is a world problem, a universal problem. It's a cultural problem. And the time has come that we, who acted as dead for a long, long time, we are now alive. I want to ask you, what time is it? Reparation time. What time is it? What time is it? Since it's reparation time, we must raise up and do the work that we are assigned to do. I want you to know that America is not the only culprit. All the European nation that has colonized people all over the world, not only in Africa, in Asia, in Australia, in America, they must pay for the damage that they have done. We are a damaged people. We are a damaged people. We are a people whose rights have been stolen, whose gifts have been stolen, and what was ours is still ours, and by might or by right, we shall get it. What do we have to do? We need to come together and put aside all differences and petty affairs that we have had. Religion should not separate us. Political parties should not separate us. Neither having a person that belongs to another race in the family, because we are one and we shall remain as one. The time has come that we must say we are united. Yes, we are united. They have lied and said that we could not be united, but we are united. Look around. Look around and see the beauty that God has created and placed in Africa to rule and have dominion over all things. And yet still, we will never abuse her. The time has come. What time is it? What time is it? Let's go and get it.
In the name of the Almighty One God, on behalf of the members of Woodson Banneker Jackson Bay Division number 330 of the UNIA and ACL, founded by the Right Excellent Marcus Mosiah Garvey, I greet all my brothers and sisters in peace. I'm here to tell you today that the spirit of Marcus Garvey is with us. That Marcus Garvey told us to look for him in the whirlwind and that on this day of the 115th birthday of the Right Excellent Marcus Mosiah Garvey, the whirlwind has returned. We are the whirlwind, and we will get reparations. Up, you mighty race! You can accomplish what you will. One God, one aim, one destiny.
Thank you, representatives of the UNIA. Thank you ever so much. I got it, Bev. Before she leaves and we introduce our next MC, let's hear it for the first African woman of radio, Sister Bev Smith. Come on, I can't hear you. Brothers and sisters, at this, now y'all know I made a faux pas, right? Whenever I do that, I'm embarrassed. However, put your hands back in your pockets, and we're going to bring Sister Bev Smith back on. Bev Smith back on, because, but y'all know that's all right, right? Y'all know that white folks have come up with a new term, and white folks say that there is something called senior moments. That's when old white people can remember, you know what? So I won't call that a senior moment. I call that an African woman who want to get everybody on stage. So please forgive me, Bev, and go to the next two speakers.
Black power, black power, black power. Are we family? You all ain't acting like family today. It's a hot day. They said we couldn't be here. You are here. You came to the center. You are here. Take a moment to give yourselves a hand for just being here. Brother Ken Bridges from Mata, please come.
Well, thank you, my sister, and thank you, Viola, for having a sister introduce me. Brothers and sisters, we've been talking about reparations today, and we're excited about reparations. It is owed us. It is due. There was a crime against humanity called slavery, and reparations is due. But in a conversation that we had with Dr. Conrad Worrell back in January, when we were talking about the Mata Network, a black channel of distribution, linking up black people that are spending money with black people that are making goods and services and working to get our $600 billion that are in black hands to stay in black hands longer. When Conrad heard what Mata was about, he said, my brother Ken, what you are talking about is a form of reparations that we have not talked a lot about, my brother, but he said it's a form of reparations that's called internal reparations. Conrad went on to say, he said, brother, this concept of internal reparations comes initially from 1993, the first Pan-African Conference on Reparations, and Dr. Chinwezu, Professor Chinwezu in Nigeria, coined the term internal repair. Dr. Chinwezu said that reparations is not mostly about money. Chinwezu said that reparations is mostly about internal repair. Repair of ourselves spiritually, brothers and sisters, mentally, brothers and sisters, economically, brothers and sisters, internal repair. Chinwezu went on to say, and Dr. Worrell, coining the term internal reparations, embraced it fully by simply saying that internal reparations is what we can do for ourselves. External reparations is what others must do for us. They owe us. But brothers and sisters, make no mistake about it. These two efforts must be simultaneous. We must demand reparations because it is due us from them. They owe us, no question about it. But brothers and sisters, I want you to think about this for a moment. We owe ourselves. Do you feel me? We owe ourselves internal reparations. We don't have to ask anybody for it. We don't have to beg anybody for it. We don't have to plead anybody to give it to us. We simply must do two things. We've got to love ourselves more and love our race more, and then we will look inside and do for ourselves. Are you feeling me? Brothers and sisters, we have to keep the pressure on for internal and external reparations. Today is a very different sort of a march, though. See, today, Sister Viola Plummer, and Dr. Conrad Worrell said that today was going to be a day that we focused on action. Oh, yes, we must talk, we must rap, and we must clap. But brothers and sisters, we got to take one more step. You see, we got to take action. Now, Mata has come with a map. It's a basic map. It's a Mata action plan for internal reparations. We're not by ourselves on this internal reparations, and COBRA is at the forefront of internal reparations and external reparations. Buff is involved in internal and external reparations. D12, we're in this with the UNIA, the New Black Panther Party. We're together and united in the fact that we must get external reparations, but brothers and sisters, we are responsible for internal reparations. Direct you to an action step very quickly. There are brothers and sisters that have Mata t-shirt on just like I have on. Mata is a people, it's a movement, and it's a business. The people are African people of African descent who know that we must give and buy black. It's a movement organizing those people to be able to be involved in a business that's a black channel of distribution, where our goods and services that we spend for everyday consumption, we must bring that into the black. It is not any way sensible for us to give 95% of our dollars away. So we simply say this: if we got external reparations tomorrow, and tomorrow was Sunday, if we don't turn around and give ourselves internal reparations, we will give the benefit of that external reparations right back by Tuesday or Wednesday. Are you feeling me? And I'm simply saying to you that our reparations is not going to be wasted. Our ancestors have given too much, done too much. Marcus Garvey has told us we got to think black, be black, buy black, and everything else will take care of itself. Make sure, brothers and sisters, that you get with one of these Mata brothers or sisters, get information from them so you can get involved in an action plan. I'm talking about what are we going to do tomorrow? What are we going to do next week? I'm saying that this is great today, but it would be a failure, brothers and sisters, if we don't take another step after today. Are you feeling me? I want you to get over to that Mata booth. It's over there with a beautiful yellow sign, Mata Canopy to my right. Just directly to my right, there are brothers and sisters in the community, in the audience, looking for you to share information with you. But let's make sure that we don't end our reparations fight today. It goes on and on and on, and it can only do that with an action plan. I say to you, internal reparations, external reparations, it's due. Internal, we owe ourselves. Think black, be black, buy black. Thank you very much.
He's talking about what's needed, and that is support for each other. And while we're at it, Pam Africa wants me to remind you of a political prisoner, Mumia Abu-Jamal. Take a moment. Take a moment. This brother has been so kind and so patient. He's representing Houston, Texas. From Houston, Texas, many of you know him, Brother Kofi.
Hotep, Salam Alaikum, free the land, and for those of you who are on the front line of the black liberation struggle, I want you to raise your clenched black fist and say, Black power, black power. Praise the Lord and all of the other appropriate greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm not here to represent myself. I'm representing a group of people who spent 30 hours on a bus coming from Houston, Texas. Is Houston, Texas in the house? Is Houston, Texas in the house? Brothers and sisters, I'm representing Minister Quanell Lex and the New Black Panther Party, the Sankofa Student Organization, the Shape Community Center, St. Saviour's Church, in Cobra in Houston, Muhammad Mosque number 45, Citizens for a Better Media, Harambe Council of Elders, Africans United for Sanity Now, the Black Heritage Society, the Black United Fund of Texas, Mount Ararat Baptist Church, and the Phoenix Outreach Program, and many more. Because in Houston, Elder Demba and Elder Delaney, we have said the issue of reparations is too big for one organization. It is too big, and that we have to come together in a collective. And I'm here to tell you that that collective has shooken up the city of Houston. We've turned it upside down and inside out. On every black person's lips is the question of reparations. It's the call and the demand for reparations, because we took Dr. Khaled's advice when he said enough Negro stuff. Enough Negro stuff. We can't use the same tactics. We can't use the same tactics. We have been in the street at the door of our oppressor. We went to the IRS and told them, damn it, you owe us. We went to the Imperial Sugar Company in Sugarland, Texas, Mr. Tom DeLay, and called up the spirit of the Egun and said, damn it, you owe us. Huh? We went to the city council in the city of Houston, and we shook up the city council. And don't you know those no-good devils voted down the resolution for Congressman Conyers 8-7? And all of the white folks, with the exception of one, voted against it. All of the white men voted against it. They voted it down. They try to position themselves as an international city. But you know what? It worked in our favor, because it made black folks upset. Got under our skin. And we filled up 2 buses and some airplanes coming here. And these brothers and sisters traveled for 30 hours. 30 hours. How many of y'all can say that? Let's talk black about it. And they still fired up. They still fired up. So we say, like Dr. Khaled said, enough Negro stuff with the reparations resolution and movement. Enough Negro stuff, brothers and sisters. We gotta come together as a collective and go to the door of our oppressor. And if need be, kick the damn door down. Black power. Black power.
I like that. Enough Negro stuff. Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? Enough Negro stuff. A year ago, on a boat going to Haiti to support the Haitians, I met the national co-chair of NCOBRA. She spoke to us, and it brought tears to our eyes. She'll speak to you. Please welcome her with love and understanding.
No. Both Bev and I have one of them moments. So you have to forgive both of us. So I'm glad she joined us in that one of those moments. Thank you very much. Brothers and sisters, I already talked about him so many times. And there's going to be so many people so mad at me because every different minute there's somebody who said they got to speak. It is now 3:15. There are people who've been here, people who we've organized many months ago. So I beg those brothers and sisters that I just met to please bear with me and don't be mad at me. But we do have a program, so please, y'all, when y'all go home and they start talking bad about me, y'all are going to say, no way, the sister was correct. We had a program, we had to move it. Ashe. Ashe. Brother Bob Law.
All right. Y'all all right? Here's what I want you to do. Now, you came here to be counted, is that right? We came here to represent, is that right?
You came to be counted. I need all the people on the side, everybody over here, everybody over here. I need you to come now in the center so that you can be counted. You came this far. Brothers talked about 6-hour bus rides. People came on buses, on planes, but you came to be counted. And so I need you to help us now. Come quickly. Come quickly. The people who are standing over here, don't stay under the shade. We're at the last segment of the program. And so on this segment, as people record what is taking place here, as aerial photographs are shot of what is taking place here, now during this last segment of the program, I need you to come into the center and be counted. You came to witness for reparations, is that right? If you came to witness for reparations, then I need you to come quickly, come now into the center where we need you to be as we move into this segment of the program. I want you to meet, Sister has already been referred to, the co-chair of NCOBRA. Are y'all coming? Are y'all coming? Come on. We're going to wait a minute for you to come on. We've got to move this program. Stay on time. But I want you to witness for reparations. Either you came to witness or you came to visit the vendors. I need everybody who came to witness for reparations, move here in the middle so that you can be a witness. Move into the middle so that you can be counted. All the people who are still over here under the trees, come on, y'all. I need you to come now into the center. Don't move so slowly. Come on. Come on, let's do this in a minute. So that when the sister comes before you, there will be an adequate witness right here in front. She is the co-chair of NCOBRA. I want you to greet Dorothy Lewis Benton.
Hey, Reparations family! It's good to see you. When I heard Conrad doing roll call, I said, we got to fix that. Calling all these people all over the states, we got to fix that. Every one of you should be an NCOBRA member. So all we have to do is say, is NCOBRA in the house? Because NCOBRA is a international, mass-based, grassroots movement whose only mission is to take care of the reparations business of the family. So no matter what organization you belong to, you should be an organizational member of NCOBRA. No matter what individual you are, you can be an individual member of NCOBRA, because we are the collection agency for the nation. And you can be all that you can be in NCOBRA. We got lots of work for you to do. Lots of jobs in NCOBRA. Now, you won't get paid. You got to deal with reparations if you want to get paid. But we got all the work that you can do. I keep seeing that Army, be all that you can be, join the Army. Be all that you can be and join NCOBRA. And, you know, this morning, yesterday, I turned on the TV and I saw some anti-black people. Some anti-black people on C-SPAN, on the Heritage Foundation, talking down reparations, calling you a bunch of leftist commies out there, radicals. I want to know what's radical about pay for labor. What's radical about pay for labor? What's radical about me leaving my children an inheritance? That's as American as apple pie. You know, and they talked about the revolutions. I used to talk to people who called themselves commies. They didn't want to deal with reparation. They wanted revolution. I said, I don't care if you do have a revolution, we still want our reparations after the revolution. You know, it doesn't matter how many wars we have, or if we're in a war, when the dust settles, we still want our reparations. Because we have always had a reparations movement, and they've always been sidelined because of something else. So I know a lot of you are over there and you can't even hear us. So you have to tell some of your people over there to come into the middle because you can't hear, because that's where I was and I couldn't hear. But I know you're all reparationists, so I really did want to talk to the people who are not here. Because I've been doing this for 35 years. I started out in Fairbanks, Alaska, in elementary school when the teacher was talking about the benefits of slavery to the African. You know, they would have us think that rape, murder, kidnap, terror on a daily basis, personal terrors, was a liberation movement. They want you to think they did us a favor. So part of this is reclaiming our memory, reclaiming our minds. But I'm tired of hearing people say they don't know what reparations mean. They never heard of reparations. They never heard of NCOBRA. So this is really for the people who are listening on the radio as I was, or out there and looking at C-SPAN. This is just a little, just a little teaching session. So I want you to sort of play with me for a minute. Now, your parents have already taught you everything you need to know about reparations. Now, this is the kindergarten part. Here's a question. When you take something that doesn't belong to you, what are you supposed to do? Give it back. All right. We're going to move on to middle school. If you take it and break it, what are you supposed to do? Give it back, replace it, or pay for it. Good answer. Okay, let's go to high school. If you take it and use it, what are you supposed to do? Give it back, pay for having used it. All right, let's move on to college. If you take it and make money with it, what are you supposed to do? Give it back, pay for having used it, and give up the money you made with it. All right? All right, okay, college now, college sophomores. If you are always taking something that doesn't belong to you, always taking something, going all over the world taking something that doesn't belong to you, what are you supposed to do? Okay, all of the above. Pay a high penalty, so high that you won't do it again. Okay, let's do junior. Let's say you have a diamond ring, and I pass it on to your daughter, Susie. Now, that's too long. That's too long. But we got a long story to deal with this reparations movement. You know, everything that's been done to us, there has to be an accounting for it. There has to be an accounting for it. You know, it's about accountability. And, you know, a lot of people want to, I was on radio yesterday and the man said, well, you know, you got to, what kind of structure? How are you going to pay this? Who are you, if I give up my money, my taxes, how do I know you're going to do the right thing with it? And I said, that's none of your business. That is not your business. You know, if you pay your debt, you don't have the right to ask your debtor what they're going to do with it. In other words, if I owe you some money, I can't say, in Jerry, I owe you this $1,000, but before I pay you back, give me your plan for what you're going to do with it. That doesn't make sense, does it? Yeah, so that's our family business. I'm tired of people asking us our business. For the first time in this country, we'll have an opportunity to take care of our own business. Reparations is not a handout. Slavery was a handout. They chopped the hands off. So, reparations family, there's room in Cobra for all of you. You know, some of you want to go back to Africa. Some of you want to stay right here. Some of you want to integrate. Some of you want your own educational system. No matter what you want, it's all under reparations. So be all that you can be and join the reparations movement. Join in Cobra.
We're moving as quickly as we can, try to stay on time. Let me make this appeal again. There are people over here who cannot hear. It is because the speakers are directed out into the middle, where they thought the witnesses for reparations were going to be. I need all the witnesses for reparations. Step away from the side, come out into the middle, so that people can see you. You said you came here to witness for reparations. There are going to be photos in newspapers around the country. Do you want to be seen? Do you want to help make this statement for reparations? Everybody who came to witness for reparations, we need you to step away. I need you to come away from the side. All the people over here, I need you to walk into the middle. The speakers are turned toward the witnesses. Everybody come into the middle for this last segment of the program. I need everybody to come into the middle so that you can, in fact, witness for reparations. When they start to count, when they start to photograph, I really need you to be in that number. You need to come into the center and be a real witness for reparations. No. Everybody, say it again. No, they can't do that, but they can come right in here, right behind this area. Just come right over. Everybody who is still over there under those trees, come on in here so that you can help us witness. All right? Come quickly, come quickly. There are people who can't hear, still standing over by the Matar desk, by the Matar tent. People will be on the other side of the Matar tent. Come over here. Come in here so you can be a witness. Brother has come all the way from Chicago, Illinois. One of the progressive elected officials. And you know, in our experience, we are searching and searching for progressive black elected officials. And we have a few here with us today. I want you to greet, from Chicago, Senator Don Trotter.
Good afternoon, Africans in America. We want what? We want reparations when? We want reparations now. Africans in America, we have a lot of work to do. This is just a step in getting reparations. In Illinois, we have passed legislation on a local level in making sure that those people who have benefited, who have stolen and gotten rich off our backs and off our labors, that they will open up the book so we can start the process of getting reparations for the people of Illinois. As I look out in this crowd and look at all these beautiful faces, I can't tell where you're from. I can't tell what kind of car you drive. I can't tell what kind of home you live in. But what I do know, what we have in common is we all came over on the boat. We came on the boat that we saw 60 million of our people die on. We are owed reparations. It was John Henry Clark who said that the white people, the slave owners, had to create some myths. He said that one of the first myths was that we were people in darkness waiting for someone to take us to the light. The second myth is that our invaders and our conquerors were supposed to be also our civilizers. He also stated, in fact, that we were primitive people waiting to be saved by some guy. I tell you, what is not a myth? What is not a myth that the people who came to Africa were thieves, they were liars, they were rapists, and they were abusers. We are owed for 500 years of terrorism. We need to get paid, and we need to get paid now. Let's go to work, Africans in America, to make sure that our children can live a better life. Thank you.
Senator Trotter, thank you very much. It's my pleasure to introduce these next brothers. As the governor of Brooklyn, I am the one who is selected to introduce them. But first, are y'all moving over from the side? Come on, y'all, come on. Just come on. The people who are back here, come right in here. Come and move. Become a witness for reparations. I'd still, somebody walk over there and urge them, tell them to come on over. This is a segment of the program where they are doing the counting and the recording and the photographing. So I really want you to be here in the center so that you can witness for reparations. Come and stand in that number. You have known this brother for many, many years as a political activist, and recently he was elected to the New York City Council. And so now we can refer to him more appropriately. He is truly one of the progressive black elected officials in this country. One of the progressive, maybe the most progressive black elected official in New York City. That's because we raised him. See, I really like politicians that you know how we say elect them to office and then watch them and keep their foot to the fire? See, I really like those brothers and sisters that once we elect them, we don't have to watch them. We can go back and continue to work because we know from whence they come. I want you to greet my brother, my friend, Councilman Charles Barron.
Thank you very much. Let me just say this to Bob Law. I am not a politician. I am an elected revolutionary. And let me tell you something else. Let's warn America today. This is the last march for reparations. You are lucky we are marching. You are lucky we talking about some legal route. You are lucky we talking about some legislative routes. The next time we come to Washington, we go into the Department of Treasury and taking our reparations. Tired all of this stuff. And if you don't move to the center when we take our reparations, you're not getting paid. So move to the center like Bob Law said. New York City, the Big Apple, never gave us a bite. And we're telling the Big Apple that racism, slavery occurred up south in New York City, not just down south in the south. And New York is gonna pay. When you look at New York City, 65% of us are people of color. 50% of the city council is people of color. 80% of the children are people of color. Now it is time for the reparations movement in New York City to make its mark on history and demand that they pay us our reparations for murdering our ancestors in New York City. I'm upset. I'm gonna sit down in a second because I'm mad. Tired of this stuff. Got to have a conversation about reparations. Let me tell you something else. We always say a crime has been committed, or people have been injured, and compensation is due, period. You know what we should say? A crime has been committed, and the criminals need to be apprehended. You lucky. They are lucky. We are talking about reparations. We should go get them. because some of them are still alive. We're not just talking about slavery. That was hanging us in 1940, hung somebody in 1950, 1960. And they need to pay us reparations because we paid taxes in 1930 for public institutions like education that we couldn't even go to. Pay us for that share. I'm upset. I'm sitting down because I'm going to slap somebody in a second. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I just might walk up to the nearest white man and say, you don't understand, this is a black thing, and slap him just for my mental health. I'm upset today. I'm just tired of this. Black power. Black power. Let me tell you something else, and I'm sitting down because I'm mad. I'm mad. And I'm not angry, I'm mad. I'm real mad. You know, every time we talk to some white people, they say, why should I pay you reparations? I didn't enslave you. I just came here a couple of centuries ago. Well, you benefited from the wealth, you have to inherit the debt. Period. I'm mad. I'm sitting down because I'm going to slap somebody. I'm so mad. Let me tell you something else, and then I'm finished. And I'm finished because I don't even like talking. I don't talk that much anymore. I don't even like it. Let me tell you something. Somebody said to me, Mr. Barron, how will we know who to pay? Now that's deep. All of a sudden, they don't know who black people are. Pay the ones that you hung. Pay the ones that you call the N-word. Pay the ones that you hire last and fire first. Even pay Tiger Woods, even though he's confused. Pay us all. Pay everybody. Oh man, let me tell you something else. You know something else they say to us? Only us do they ask this. How much do we owe you? None of your business. We will handle that after the commissions. We will tell you. They didn't ask the Jews how much. They didn't ask Japanese how much. They just said that a crime was committed, it was wrong, and here's your cash. When y'all get on TV or something like that, when they say, what are you going to do with the money? None of your business. Be asking us those questions. If you owe me $100, you just pay me back my $100. You don't ask me how am I going to spend my money. That's none of your business. But I'm telling you now, this is the defining issue for the 21st century. Just like W.E.B. Du Bois said race was the defining issue for the 20th century, reparations is the defining issue for the 21st century. And if they don't pay us reparations now, we are going to be talking about scorched earth. God bless you.
How y'all doing? You know, you really have to love our people to do something like this. And I want to talk to you just for a second. A lot of people, I'm just going to talk plain talk for a minute. And I need everybody's attention because people think a revolution is about speaking on the stage. It's not. That's just symbolic of the work on the ground. And the work on the ground is the 68 cities of brothers and sisters who are represented out here today because of their commitment to a cause, the veneration of our ancestors who were murdered by crackers. Do y'all understand that? No people in the world ever forget about what happened to them and what continues to happen to them and the manifestations of what happened to us. So in order for this to happen, there were a lot of people in our community, so-called leadership in America, that didn't want this to go down. Wouldn't give us a dime. And we didn't want no money from no white people. So we went to y'all, and it's been rough. And in this collection we just had, I'll be honest, we didn't get the money that we need to pay the bill. There are a lot of good people under the table, I will tell you, who loaned us money, but we got to pay it back. It is my firm belief the spirit of the ancestors are working. And we decided to do something, and whatever is written about this event in the media don't mean nothing to me. Don't mean a damn thing. It's because we're here, we're determined to push this struggle. This is only a little dot in a big pond. So we're asking the brothers and sisters to go back in the audience and try to give so we can pay the bills. We're not begging for anybody. We talk about self-determination. Let's put self-determination into action. We need another collection. I'm asking the brothers and sisters to go out here and please, please, give to the best of your ability so we can pay these bills. And that's what will determine the success, because black people did it. Y'all got it? Black power. Black power. Black power. Black power.
Black money.
People are coming out right now for the collection. We want to pay for this ourselves. We don't want to have to go to anybody else and ask them to do for us what we are capable of doing for ourselves. We are a people who spend $5 billion a year on soda. I just want you to use some of your soda money. If you write a check, make it out to the Code Foundation, C-O-D-E. Everybody who is going to give, take your money out now so there's nowhere to come to. Here's some people right here with their money. Take your money out. Everybody who can take $5 out of your pocket, take $5 out right now. Hold the $5 up. Everybody else in here. Anybody over here. If you have more than 5, there's some hands waving, looking for the money collectors. But the people right around in here, everybody who is going to give, take your money out of your pocket. Y'all with the boxes, hurry up. They've got their hands up. Going to give, going to help us pay for this ourselves. Raise your hand. Here's a brother with his hand up. Raise your hand. Hold your hand up with the money. We're looking for $5 bills, $10 bills. $10 bills, and a hand went right up. $20 bills. Everybody with your, hold your money up. There's even people in the press corps have got their hands up. Where are the people with the buckets? Where are the people with the buckets? We need some church ushers who know how to collect the money. Here's a $20 bill. Who is this from? From the new Black Panther Party, Brother Malik. $20 bill. And they pledge $100. Come on, everybody, raise your hand. Keep your hand up. Come on, money collectors. All right. Here's, oh, okay. Here's a check for $100. Here's another check for $20. Check for $100 from Senator Trotter. Black Panther Party, $100. $100 from the Black Panther Party. And another 10. Come on with the buckets. Come on with these buckets. Y'all run. Walk faster. Help them, Shimaranga. Get them to move. Go get this money. Everybody else who's got $10 in their hand, $5 in their hand, raise your hand. Here's some folks back here. Here's some folks back here. There's a brother in the press corps waving his hand, trying to give the money. There's some folks up here trying to give their money. Anybody up here? Can you bump it up here? Anybody else? All right. Have we got some hands up? Got your hands up? Everybody with $10 in their hand, wave your hand. Don't just put it up. Wave your hand. Are y'all waving your hand? Here's a brother right here waving his hand. Brother with the red shirt. He's waving his hand. Where's the bucket? Here he is. There's a brother right behind you. Wait. He's going right behind you, brother. Here they come. Another $100 from my church in Washington, D.C. There's another $100. What's the church? The House of the Lord Church. Oh, from your church in Washington, D.C. All right. From the House of the Lord. And we have $100 from the House of the Lord Church at 415 Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn. I just wanted you to know I knew the address. Come on with the money. Come on. Who else? Here, come take this. Put this in the bucket. It's about $240 in here. All right. Did everybody wave their hand? There's some hands waving in the back now. We need 3 or 4 more buckets here in the back. Keep waving the money, waving the money. Wave the money so they know where you are. The buckets are coming. Put a $5 bill in your hand. Put a $10 bill in your hand. If you have a 10 or 20, wave your hand. There you go. They're coming. We're going to move the program as we continue to raise the money. But I don't want any distraction as we bring these brothers up. All right. Some hands still in the back. There's a brother all the way in the back in a white T-shirt waving his hand. There's a brother all the way in the back in a yellow T-shirt. I see folks in the back waving their hands. Where are the people with the buckets? All right. Y'all know why we are here. We have come to Washington, D.C. to witness for reparations. We want to make sure that we begin the process of clarifying this issue of reparations. You hear a lot of questions. I understand there were some people on television today attack some black people who are on TV attacking the notion of reparations. Listen, I want you to be clear. Reparations is about justice. Anything less than reparations is not justice. Okay. All right. We've got to do this now. Got to make another adjustment in the program. We need to bring this sister on right away. She's been with us all day. She is here from Washington, D.C. Would you welcome Councilwoman Sandy Allen from Washington, D.C.
What do we want? When are we wanting? When are we wanting? Really, we wanted it yesterday. All right? Now, we want it now, but we've wanted it for a while. I'm here to welcome you to the District of Columbia, the last colony in the United States. I'm here to tell you that we're with you. We're going to work with you, and what a better place. And I keep hearing them tell everybody, come on in to the middle, and you think it's a joke. Well, our ancestors stood in the sun. So you can come on over and get in the sun and make sure that when the numbers are counted and they talk about us, saying that we didn't bring enough people, we want things, but we don't come together. We need you. I'm from the district. I know where they count. They'll count between the steps of that house and the house down the hill. They're not going to go on any of the side streets, and anybody on the side street don't count. You know, we've been on the side streets, and you see how they've treated us. So if you come on in, you will get into the number. You may never be seen on television, but believe me, there's somebody looking at you that will see you, and they will only look in a straight path. And what we have to let them know is you can't always see what's going on, but we're going to give you a great opportunity today to look at us, come together for the injustice that has been done to the African Americans all over this world. When we talk about the Americans, we're not just talking about right here in the United States. We're talking about the Americans all over this world. People of our color, and boy, do we have many colors to talk about, but people of our color who have been pushed aside, worked like dogs, and they won't even give us unemployment compensation, because reparations is our compensation for labor that we have already done, and they don't want to give us a dime. Well, we have to show that we're here as one body, one family, united, working together for reparation. When? All right, and welcome to the District of Columbia.
There's a brother here who came all the way with us from Queens. Is he councilman? Am I saying this right? Leroy Cromley? He's councilman. All right. And I want to acknowledge that he is here. If he would just stand, Councilman Leroy Cromley, right here. All right. All right. I want you to know that he is with us. All right. I want to introduce this brother who was here helping me take up the offering. He took up the offering from both of his churches. You got more than 2 churches? You got a lot of them. All right. I met him many, many years ago as he introduced a concept called a liberation theology and has been preaching liberation all of his career. Also, I happen to remember, he's an excellent baseball player. Coming up from the old, shouldn't call it the old, but from the old Negro League with real skills. I had a baseball team that played against him, and he actually hit the ball out of the park across the street. He really can play. He can play baseball and he can preach. One of the founders of the National Black United Front. Would you welcome from the House of the Lord Church in Brooklyn, Reverend Herbert Daughtry.
All right. Listen, we're fired up. Won't take no more. We're fired up. Won't take no more. We're fired up. Won't take no more. We're fired up. We won't take no more. What do you want? When do you want it? What do you want?
Reparations.
When do you want it? All right, give yourself a hand clap, everybody. Want to thank Brother Bob Law. We go back a long time. I'm an excellent athlete. Not only am I a great baseball player and a great basketball player, but I know what to do with my hands, too. Just in case anybody out there getting nervous and run up on me, you're going to run up on a buzzsaw. I'm still lightning fast, hit with both hands. All right, we're just delighted to be here. We want to commend Dr. Conrad Worrell, the chairperson of the National Black United Front, Sister Viola Plummer, for the great organizing skills which they have manifested here today. Not only so, but equally, we commend them for adhering to a certain principle, that this would be a mass, grassroots, independent, nationalist, Pan-Africanist movement for reparation, and we commend them for that. Let's give them a great big hand. Also, I have my wife here, 40 years with me, and I'm going to ask her to stand because she looks as pretty as she did when I fetched her from her father's house 40 years ago. Now, here's what I'd like to do just before I make a few remarks. I've been doing this for 44 years now, y'all. I'm an old man now. I'm 72 years old and been on this journey 44 years. Now, but before we do that, I have some of our people here. They don't like for me to call them young people, but when you get my age, everybody under 50 is young. So I'm going to ask one of our groups from the church to come forward and give us a selection. It's going to be led by my daughter, Minister of Music at our church, Sharon Daughtry. I got 3 daughters here, 2 ministers and 1 minister of music. And then I got a minister's son over there who's a lawyer. So when I get ready to go to jail, I got a lawyer. When I get ready to, when y'all stress me out too much, my wife is a doctor of psychology, so I'm ready for whatever comes along.
No
think would be appropriate after that, behind me is the picture of a brother with whom I've had a long association. He was at the beginning of the National Black United Front founding convention way back in 1979. And then after the convention, came to our church, the House of the Lord Church, and I will not forget the sermon that he preached. He would not call it a sermon. He preached on the Holy Ghost. When the Holy Ghost came, they spoke with many tongues, but they were all together. And I think we should pause for a moment of silence as we recognize Khalid Muhammad. Good. Thank you very much. We want to finally, we have, so that I can go home, I want to acknowledge delegations from our various churches from Augusta, Georgia. Yes, good, thank you. From Augusta, Georgia, delegation from Columbia, South Carolina, delegation from Washington, D.C., delegation from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, delegation from Brooklyn, New York, delegation from Hempstead, New York, and I think we have a delegation all the way from Ohio. Who else? Did I leave anybody else out? We got delegations from all over the place, the House of the Lord Church. Want to express our appreciation for your being here. Let me just say to you in a very few minutes, we have come here on this Marcus Messiah Garvey's 115th birthday, the greatest organizer who told us to look for him in the whirlwind. So we look for Garvey in every whirlwind of social change. We look for him here today. I fancy I hear him challenging us, up, you mighty race, you can accomplish what you will. So we have come here today not to cash a check, but to demand one. The check to which Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. referred almost 40 summers ago in this very city was never honored by the rulers of America. The check came back then and it comes back today in sufficient funds. His check demanded riches of freedom. The check we demand includes freedom, justice, and equality. But in addition, the check we demand requires payment for 400 years of unrequited labor. 400 years of toiling in the most oppressive condition, producing the wealth enjoyed by Euro-Americans from that time up to the present. 400 years of unprecedented devastation of a people and a continent. 400 years of slavery, colonization, segregation, discrimination, and every kind of dehumanizing system conceived by demonic forces in human flesh. 400 years of stealing and cheating and swindling and exploiting. 400 years of raping and ravishing, bombings and lynchings, such as no people have ever experienced, for no reason at all. Fred Douglass said in his 4th of July speech in the 1800s, describing the unspeakable horrors of America's treatment of African people, he said, "Go where you may, search where you will, go to South America, travel to the old world, search out every abuse, and when you have found the last, place them beside the everyday practices of the people of this country. And I'm sure you will agree with me that for shameful hypocrisy and revolting barbarism, America reigns without a rival." Yes, let us not forget, they owe us for loyalty too. We have shed our blood in every war this country ever had. We were there in the Revolutionary War. Crispus Attucks was the first to die. We were at Bunker Hill and we were at Valley Forge with Washington. Had we not been there, there wouldn't be a United States of America. We were there, too, when the Union forces marched against the Confederacy. Had it not been for black soldiers in the struggle to survive this Union, there would be no Union, and Abraham Lincoln said as much. Now I know that there are those who say slavery ended in 1865. Nay, but the evils inherent in the slave system did not suddenly stop with the Emancipation Proclamation of 1863 or with the Union victories in 1865, nor with the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment to the Constitution. Nay, but the legacy continues even to the present time. Indeed, the beat goes on. Immediately following 1865, a wave of terror swept across America like a prairie fire, consuming blacks by the thousands in the most agonizing forms of death. I know that there are those who are experiencing fear today as a result of September the 11th. Well, I just want to say to you, welcome to Black America. Living with terror, we have lived with terror for so long that we have normalized it. In fact, we have lived with it so long that we can even celebrate it. We just survive anyhow, progress anyhow, no matter what you do to us. Yes, from the black codes of 1865 and 1867, which attempted to diminish and to destroy our people, to the most recent racist attack, we have been subjected to terror such as no other people. Emory University said that from 1882 to 1930, over 5,000 of our people were reported, notice, reported lynched. Reported, there's no telling how many others were lynched and unreported. Ida B. Wells stated at the turn of the century that from 1865 to 1995, over 10,000 of our people were brutally destroyed, brutally killed, and that is the reported amount. No, slavery did not end. The legacy of slavery did not end with the war of 1865. Not only so, but they have stole our land. They have subjected us to peonage and sharecropping. Not only so, but we have been subjected to discrimination up to the present time. The recent statistics say in the American businesses, 1/3 of the American businesses still practice discrimination. And do you know what, brothers and sisters, listen and listen well. Isn't it ironic, incredibly ironic, that the most violent, the most vicious acts have emanated from the police department, from the people we pay to protect us, the people we pay to protect us and from whom we need to be protected. No, no, indeed, the legacy of slavery did not end, and it is very much with us today. I know that there are those who say, but I didn't do anything, as Councilman Charles Barron indicated. Yeah, but you are the beneficiaries of what your ancestors did. The very fact that you have a pale face means that you'll live from 6 to 8 years longer than me because I have a dark face. The very fact that a white sister or a pale-faced sister will live 8 to 10 years longer than a sister with a dark face because you have membership in the club. You are the beneficiaries of what other people have done. If you don't believe that you're linked to the past, then why don't you get amnesia? If you don't believe you're linked to the past, why don't all of you who have inherited anything from your ancestors give it back? The reality is we are linked to the past. And for pale-faced folks, you don't have to do anything. You simply reap the benefit of what your ancestors did. I know there are those who say, yes, but what do you want? As Brother Charles Barron has indicated, we want you to pay up. It is morally right, legally just, and historically valid. Paying reparation is as ancient as the scripture. The Bible says when the thief is caught, he ought to repay sevenfold. 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 Yes, reparation is as old as the Bible, and it is as recent as Queen Mother Moore. It is as recent as H.R. 40, which was put in place by Congressman John Conyers. But if you want to go back, General Sherman in 1865 issued Field Order 15, which broke up the plantations and gave the freedmen a piece of the land. You can go back to the Freedman's Bureau and go back to one of my favorite churchmen, Bishop McNeil Turner, who in 1890 had calculated how much they owe us. Yes, reparation is due us. It is right. It is moral. It is legal. And we have come to say, give us the check. Now, I know that those who say, well, all I want is my personal check. I hope you get your personal check. That's why I say to people who get welfare checks, listen, don't hang your head because you got a welfare check. Child, get the welfare check. Hold your head up high. Because I don't care how many welfare checks you get, they will not have paid you for the labor of your ancestors. Just don't get a welfare mentality while you're getting the check. What do we want? Well, we want reparation, and we want it now. Now, you may want a check. I'm not sure. Somebody has said if we get a check, General Motors will be at our door tomorrow with a brand new Cadillac with all kind of chrome on it, black and green flags all around it. We be broke in about a year from now. No, reparations would mean rebuilding our cities. The Marshall Plan as they rebuilt Western Europe. A Marshall Plan would mean a massive health program. We suffer from more disease than any other people in this country. We have an epidemic in health. We need an educational program. Yes, we need our land back. The land that they've stolen, the land that they've taken, the land that they've, through thievery and manipulation, took from our people. We want the land back. That's just a start. I would be all for cancellation of third world debts. We don't want to pay you back anything. If anything, pay back. Pay back the countries of Africa. Pay back the countries of the Caribbean. Pay them back. They don't owe you anything. If it were not for the labor of our mothers and fathers, there'd be no wealth in the United States. If there were not for the labor of our mothers and fathers, there would be no Washington Monument putting his fingers to the sky, having stolen a design from Egypt. Not only were we subjected to violence after the Civil War, but let me tell you something else. These thieves went after our genius. They stole our music. They stole our art. They stole the stuff of which the spirit is made. They stole everything that we had. So, because of the violence, because of the labor, because of the toil, because of the violence, they owe us. And we should not rest. We should not rest. We should not slumber. We should not sleep. We should not get weary until justice is done and reparation is a reality in this country. Let me conclude on this note. Somebody said, well, what y'all going to Washington for? You ain't gonna get nothing. What are you expending all this energy for? You ain't gonna get nothing. Well, I tell you something I've learned a long time ago. In a struggle, you define what winning is. And the very fact that I look across this massive, massive audience today, I declare to the world, we're winning. When I think about people's consciousness being raised, I declare we're winning. When I put the enemy on the defensive and take the offense with a moral argument, I say we're winning. And we're going to keep on winning. We're not going to stop We're not going to quit. We're not going to give up. You can bomb us, lynch us, put the police on us, send the FBI after, send the Air Force if you want to, send the Navy. But when it's all over, I said when it's all over, I said when it's all over, we'll still be here as our mothers and fathers were a long time ago. We'll still be here as was Denmark Vesey. We'll still be here as was Malcolm X. We'll still be here as was Marcus Garvey. We'll still be here as was Patrice Lumumba. We'll still be here as Shaka of the Zulus. We'll still be here as the Mau Mau's and the Maroons. We'll still be here fighting still because we know ultimately we're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win. God bless you.
Reverend Herb Daughtry. Again for Reverend Herb Daughtry. Khadijah Deuce, who has been separated from her son, come to stage left. We have your son. Now we need the mama. Khadijah, if you can't find him, come to stage left. We're going to move quickly. As I said earlier, you know, we've been told that there were some people who were on television early this morning who were attacking the notion of reparations. Now, I don't want you to be concerned or confused by that, particularly because they were black. As you've heard us say many, many times, the oppressors of our people have black people that they own, and they can trot them out to attack anything we do. And they have established a historical pattern of bringing out people that we have called Sambos and Toms, and always use them to try and confuse some of us by getting the Negroes that they own to come out and say what they have been instructed to say. Part of their job is to always attack each other, to say that whatever it is that comes out of the black experience is not valid, but that is why they are there. That is their function. It also is an indication that we are on the right track. Whenever they go to find somebody that they can use as a weapon against us, if we were harmless, they wouldn't bother. I have some brothers I want to introduce to you right now. Some brothers in the audience. I don't know where these brothers. Ted Wilson, you're in the audience, and I think I saw Eddie Ellis in the audience. Al Pertilla. I don't know if you could wave your hand or something, or wave a T-shirt. The relevancy is that those brothers, where are y'all? These brothers are part of, is that Teddy with his hand up and the white cap? Wave your hand right there, right under the red, green, and black flag. One of the things that's relevant about these brothers, these are brothers who are some of the original organizers of the Black Panther Party. These are brothers who brought the Black Panther Party to New York City. Was walking up and down the street, painting signs in the street that said, "Be strong, young brother, the Panther is coming." That's some of the original Black Panther Party. I want to connect that to these brothers behind me, who are the new Black Panther Party. Where's the brother? This brother, Chief of Staff, is that right? I want you, Teddy Wilson right here, wave your hand. One of the original organizers of the Black Panther Party. This is the Chief of Staff, Brother Aziz, from the new Black Panther Party.
Black power. Black power! I thought black people get happy on payday. It's payday. Black power! Black power! Black power! Black power! It's payday. I'm here to introduce to you, as the National Chief of Staff of the new Black Panther Party, a representative of our Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad, and our National Chairman, Dr. Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz. Raise your black power fist as he come to the mic and fight for you like we do every day in these streets. Black power! Black power!
Black power. Give the Durban 400, give the organizers, the Durban 400, a black hand. You got a better hand than that. Give them a strong black hand. Give In Cobra a strong black hand. Give the followers of Marcus Garvey a strong black hand. Get a new Black Panther Party here from all over the country. 30 chapters. The Black Panther Party, 36 years, still in the mix. From Lowndes County, Alabama, through Oakland, California, Dr. Huey P. Newton, all the way till today. Black power, black power, black power, black power, black power. Giving all honor to God, giving all honor to the prophets, peace be upon them all. But brothers and sisters, we as children of slaves here in the hells of America, our ancestors would chop our heads off if we didn't give thanks to God for Harriet Tubman. For she was packing 2 shotguns, freeing slaves. And she told the black man, if you won't step with me to free these slaves, you're going to be the first casualty. A bold black woman, Harriet Tubman. We thank God for Sojourner Truth. We thank God for Pastor and Reverend Nat Turner. Nat Turner didn't finish the job, and we the Nat Turner babies. We give honor to Ida B. Wells. We give honor to Bishop Henry McNeil Turner. We give honor to the man whose birthday is today, who stood for us a long time ago, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, who they lied upon and spat upon and drove out of America. We thank Almighty God for a bold black man from Sandersville, Georgia. He had a 3rd grade education, but he went on to shake the foundation of the world. You know who I'm talking about, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. We thank God for noble Drew Ali. We thank God for a bold black man, the patriarch of black nationalism, our shining black prince, a bold black man, Minister Malcolm X. We thank God for Frederick Douglass. We thank God for the Deacons of Defense. We thank God for the original members of the Black Panther Party. There would be no new Black Panther Party if it was not for the original Black Panther Party. Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael, John Henry Clark. But as sisters and brothers here in this audience, if I live to be 1,000 or the ripe old age of Methuselah, I could never thank God enough for a bold, bald-headed black man. Come on out here, young man. I could never thank God enough for a fearless and courageous freedom fighter. He passed on last year in February. There is no history of organizations in America surviving once a powerful, central, charismatic leader has passed. But we had a good teacher. We had a good trainer. We had a good mentor. He was a freedom fighter. He proclaimed to us that he came to give the white man hell from the cradle to the grave. Black power. He said to us that he didn't come to blame the victims, that he didn't come to blame black people for the condition that exists in the hells of America. He taught us that he didn't come to pin the tail on the donkey, but he came to pin the tail on the honky. Black power, black power, Hotep, free the land. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Praise the Lord. Pass the ammunition.
Black power, we're not going to be long, but we must be strong. Here at the beginning of a mass movement for reparations, you are the part of a launching pad of a mass political movement for reparations. You represent millions who are watching all over the earth by satellite right now, who understand what we mean by full and complete reparations. As we approach the anniversary of September 11th, as we approach, come on down with that. Turn that around. Come on down. As we approach the anniversary, the 1-year anniversary of every day on the news, we have to hear the lie over and over again. Every day we have to hear the lie over and over again that what happened on September 11th was the worst tragedy that ever took place on American soil. Every day we have to hear the lie that September 11th was the worst tragedy ever to take place in America. But we are here to tell you that that is a damn lie. That the worst tragedy ever to take place in America is not September 11th, but it is what happened to black people between 1555 and 1955. The Black Holocaust, no comparison. On the anniversary of September 11th, as they talk about the Twin Towers, they talk about the Twin Towers that fell in New York. Well, I want to talk about the Twin Towers of civilization, the original black man and original black woman. I want to talk about a twin tower, the black man, the son of Akhenaten, the sons of King Khafre, the son of pyramid builders, the son of the fathers of civilization, a twin tower. The black man bombed by terrorists, brought down to rubble. I want to talk about a twin tower called the black woman. Talk about a twin tower called the black woman, the mother of civilization, the daughter of Queen Hatshepsut, the daughter of Queen Nzinga, the daughter of bold black women, a twin tower, a mighty pillar of civilization brought down by white America to rubble. To hell with talking about September 11th. I want to talk about the Black Holocaust, the worst tragedy ever to take place on American soil. They say there were 3 ships. They say there were 3 ships, airships, 3 airplanes or airships that hit the Twin Towers, and 1 hit the Pentagon. Yes, sir. There were 3 ships, but I want to talk about not just 3 ships, not just dozens of ships, but hundreds of ships, thousands of ships that crashed into the true Twin Towers and brought the original people of the earth down to rubble. They had seats on the airplane. September 11th, at least they had seats. I want you to look at black people in the cargo of slave ships. Turn that around to that crowd, please. I want you to look how black people were seated coming to America on a ship hijacked by terrorists, defecating on each other, urinating on each other, jumping overboard to be eaten by the sharks. How do you think sharks now have a human appetite? It came from the white man throwing us overboard and sharks eating us. Now sharks are coming back and biting them. Black power. Black power. I'm not going to be long, but I must be strong. They want to tell us about Bin Laden. Bin Laden. Blame it on Bin Laden. Mr. Bush, his wife won't sleep with him at night. Blame it on Bin Laden. Mr. Bush, drinking a keg of beer and eating some pretzels, passes out. Blame it on Bin Laden. They want to talk to us about Bin Laden. They want to blame poor little Saddam Hussein, who poses no threat to America, doesn't even have as much as a can of Raid. They want to talk about those terrorists. We come to talk about a terrorist named Christopher Columbus. I want to talk about a terrorist named George Washington. I want to talk about a terrorist named Thomas Jefferson. I want to talk about a terrorist called the Inglewood Police Department. I want to talk about a terrorist called the Prince George's County Police Department. A terrorist called Rudy Giuliani. A terrorist called the New York Police Department. The real terrorists have always been right here in the United States of America. Black power. Black power. They got a museum over there as I prepare to close. You know, it's getting hot in here. Getting hot in here. They got a museum at the edge of the mall that represents a Holocaust that did not take place here. They got museums and memorials for the victims of September 11th, but not one penny, not one dime, not no memorial, nothing for the children of slaves. To hell with that. We want full and complete reparations. The Black Holocaust is the worst Holocaust of all time. 150 million lives lost in the Black Holocaust, 6 million lives lost in the European Jewish Holocaust. Which Holocaust is worse? They went in with their name, language, religion, culture, and God. They came out with their name, language, religion, culture, and God. We went in, we lost our name, our language, our religion, our culture, our God. And if you say that the Jewish Holocaust is worse than the Black Holocaust, you are a liar. And the book of John in the 8th chapter says that the truth is not in you. As I leave you, we have to repair ourselves. Repair yourself. Black man, leave the woman of your former slave master. Stand by your black woman. Repair yourself. Stop shopping with the white man and the Korean. Support black businesses. Buy black. You got to repair self. Stop selling and using the hard dope that the white man and the government brings into the country. Stop using it and participating in it. We got to repair self. We got to free Jamil El-Amin. We got to free Mumia. We got to engage in the liberation struggle, and there's a healing that will take place within us. They say I got to wrap up. You know how it is up here. Black power. They say if they don't give us reparations, well, what if we don't give it to you? We say the book of Exodus says that he who stealeth a man and selleth that man, if he be caught with that man in his hand, he will surely be put to death. If you don't give us reparations, America's burning right now. It's on fire. The stock market is crashing right now. It's on fire. There's confusion in the White House. America's going down. If you don't give us reparations, God's wrath will come on America. God will take the kingdom from whom he pleases, and he will give it to whom he pleases. Thank you for listening. Black power. Black power. Black power. Black power. Come on over to the Black Panther table and join with the new Black Panther Party. And we got a new CD out. It's hot. Right over to the right, your left. Black power.
Hotep. Assalamu alaikum. Praise the Lord. And reparations now. My name is Brother Matsamela Mapfumo Mark Thompson, radio talk show host here at WOL and XM, and we want to officially again welcome you all to the National Mall in Washington, D.C. on the birthday of Marcus Garvey to demand our reparations. Reparations now! Reparations now! Reparations now! We have several announcements we need to make, a little bit of housekeeping. Sister Khadija Deuce, who is separated from a family member, I believe her daughter, could you meet us here at stage left? Sister Khadija Deuce. If anyone has found a lost bag, please report that bag, bring that bag backstage, if you will. Also, Leonard Jenkins, your daughter, Iris Jenkins, is looking for you. And also, if Rhonda LeMay Blackwell could report backstage. Rhonda LeMay Blackwell. One other announcement. We all know that our dear sister in Congress, member of the Congressional Black Caucus, Cynthia McKinney, is in the fight for her life. We have a freedom bus on the way to campaign on her behalf, leaving from this march. We want to all get on the bus. The bus will leave at 6:30 p.m. from 3rd and Independence Avenue. Please meet the bus and travel to help our sister. This is the power part of our program. During this concluding part of our program, we're going to share with you some information that we can take back home to continue to organize on behalf of reparations, to help these great black organizations. Let's once again give a strong African hand to the National Black United Front and the December 12th movement. We ask you all also to join the National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America. We've heard a lot of speakers today, but we also know that we have a creative and a spiritual movement. We move in that fashion as an African people. We have two very powerful bringers of the word now, two very powerful poets that we want to hear from at this time. First now, hailing from Brooklyn, New York, please put your hands together for Sister Firestarter. Sister Firestarter. Start a fire. Sister Firestarter.
Reparations now. Yo, puff, puff, pass. This life passed me by. Because I was so high, I believed I could fly in the sky with birds. Like James, who now fly with Jesus. Because he saved souls, but not skin, from the 6 seeds of racism sown within this land on which I stand. One nation under God. I said one nation under God, divided, separate, and unequal, and I am the sequel to civil rights, the baby of black power, the mother of hip-hop, the grandbaby of the blues, the little sister of funk, and I got trunkloads of love for your soul. So grab hold as I too sing America's Brooklyn black girl song. Don't tell me America don't know. Not just for slavery, but for black codes and Jim Crow, for drug infestation and COINTELPRO, for Bumpers, Bird, Bailey, and Diallo. Don't tell me, because I know that keloid scars rise on my back with every post-traumatic slavery disorder attack I get. Stigmata, baby. Been enslaved in America longer than we've been free, and bioterrorism ain't nothing new to me. Lead paint, malt liquor, cigarettes, quarter water, cheap sodas, AIDS, asthma, crack, been under attack since way, way back. Now that anthrax vax for them postal blacks, check that history. Syphilis shots, blankets, smallpox sounds like Tuskegee to me. See, half of me was here before anybody came, and the other half of me never asked to come. And my terror didn't start on 9/11. See, I don't sit still for cunning cavemen and their twisted plots, or cats who fake the millennium in the Y2K, or cats who fake counting votes on election day, or cats who gave the Taliban 43 million last May, or cats who jacked them race talks in South Africa that Friday before them planes hit. Never me, I'm patriotic. I just won't be hypnotically tranced by that media, quick to eat each picture, every word that they feeding you. Regular folks are starving, corporate corporations getting greedier, welfare and jobs at the same time, yo. Who's needier? Who's needier? Matter of fact, let's bring my man Amadou back. And let's see if his wallet was red, white, and blue and not black. With those red, whites, and blue who blew him away still attacked. Hold it, I'm American. No, boy, you black, 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 black. No more tax for America's blacks. We play with the blood and the sweat off our back. Reparations now. Peace.
We gotta found them all. Sister Firestarter, give a round of applause. Also from Brooklyn, New York, another very strong brother who's been involved in the movement for quite some time, in the Million Man March and the Million Family March. Please welcome Luis Reyes Rivera.
On behalf of all the other poets, I offer you a note. It's not just the labor that they took, forcing us to dirt-filled swamplands, trenches, carving out canals, clearing clusters of trees, chop, burn, slash, hoeing soil, planting crops, cultivating daily every single shoot we grew, pulling leaves, cutting cane, picking cotton, baling wealth, building bridges, hammered rails, digging the foundations of estates, plastered brick and makeshift mortar, hammering each plank of paneled wall and staircase steps, fitting every rise in place, the drench of sweat from the dusk of dawn to the niche of night. It's not just the burning at the stake, the agony of being made to watch, my wrists, her torso, his ankles tied tight onto a turning rod above the cackle beneath the flesh of God, singeing flames, roasting ever slowly, psyche ripped, ego crushed, that sense of self strewn like seeds upon the rocks, the quartering of limbs, the severing of arms, the genitals cut, those fingers fed to dogs, the beheaded faces posted on the roads, branded breasts, searing scars, bull dick whip cracked across the backs of pregnant women giving birth between each leaf and cotton ball baled beside their graves. It's not just the sodomized mouths of children pimped for ready cash, the putrid smell of sots and sailors, strangers lurking at each port of call, paying for the pleasure of inflicted pain, lusting after the warmth of women whose only longing was and is but self-esteem returning back to life. No, it's not just the indignities born and torn thereafter, where the death of chattel owners claiming liens on spirit's flesh is resurrected over to the ever-present fear instilled with constant threat. Train heads bowed to the gutter off the curb with that life in our eyes, downward cast in glaring rage from the beatings and the lynchings, a daily dose for every week, every solitary month, every year consecutive and concurrent, like the sale of hot dogs and popcorn, soda pop and photo shoots, like the souvenirs of chopped uncut hands sold and on display in the cultured waste of cold museums, black men dangling from the branches of trees, limbs rope burned, while crowds of sneering smiles stand and watch. It's not just the stolen farms of acres never paid for, the subserved pay and superworked slave cheated from an honest wage, like rising taxes pounding down against the will we've shared to struggle hard against the weight of utter desolation. It's not just the constant flail of conscript jail, chain gang roads for highways paved, a bellicose belligerence slaughtering our innocence, longing but to reborn beside the families of earth where the spirit of our self-esteem is still a peregrine wanderer looking for our rightful homes, our missing fathers, our bitter mothers, the children we have never really raised, now hyped like special ed with dosages of drugs, craving for release from foster care and group home madness, pimping us anew. No, it's not just that. It's the shrubs and the weeds that have grown like wild grass, hiding the sacred ground where ancestors' bones lay unattended with no drink, no food, no amulet placed, no praise song played, no blessed chant danced, no prayer full of love to accompany the bones of our beloved. It's every single raid of township and village, the forced march away from ancient land and ancient gravesite, rank of ball and chain, the lost lives never buried on those roads, the persistent image of men strapped to stone out in the bay, high tides drowning the drone of voices resisting barracoon smells and pungent death, the narrow cells of bodies crammed, the ship's hold, the tiered flesh, the wanton trash of sharks lurking after burial routes out at sea, the separation of kinfolk from kinship, from the port of call to another isle of stolen land, the stripping of dignity bartered and sold, the sacred ground of holy flesh stolen. It's all of it. And for every bit and every stroke, they owe us all. They owe us all. They owe us all.
Luis Reyes Rivera, give him a round of applause, please. Right. As there are many unsung heroes when it comes to our liberation struggle, just a handful of them we want to acknowledge at this time. One great elder amongst us now who has been involved in the struggle of African people for decades, from Chicago, Illinois, Brother Webb Evans. If he could stand, let's give him a round of applause. Also, one of the people who called for this great day, this Millions for Reparations March, Dr. Conrad Worrell, chair of the National Black United Front, does have a better half. She is here. We want to acknowledge her. Mrs. Worrell, please stand. We want to acknowledge her. Give her a round of applause. We also want to bring forward to the microphone now one representing an organization that donated and dedicated a great deal of time and money to this historic day. They too will be written about and they will be sung heroes. We welcome now to the podium, please put your hands together, representing the nation of Israel, Prince Israel. Give them a round of applause.
Would you all stand, please? Yevrecha Yehovah Yishmerecha, Ye'er Yehovah Panai Velecha Vichnecha, Yisai Yehovah Panai Velecha V'noten Shalom. Yehovah bless thee and keep thee. Yehovah cause his face to shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yehovah lift his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And I add to that reparations.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah! Ashain, Hotep, Baragani, Assalamu alaikum, Shalom. Let me first and foremost give all glory, honor, and praise unto the God of my fathers, the God of our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. His Majesty, the King of the universe, Yahweh. Unto all the elders who are present, saints and scholars, warriors and workers, men and women, black people from all over the diaspora in the greatest captivity known unto man, peace be multiplied. It is a befitting thing that we have come and assembled ourselves in Washington, D.C., the citadel of white supremacy, the very seat of the government that brought our ancestors into captivity. The Bible says, "Woe be unto him who buildeth a town or a nation with blood, and establishes a city by iniquity." America was built by the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors. It is no myth, no happen chance, no coinky-dink that America's vestige is soiled, stained in the blood of our people for not one day, but for centuries. When you consider the fact that she mirrors a great empire that has prefigured her in bringing the children of the great creator into a state of bondage, again, the similarities are too great to be happen chance. The word that is written in reference to iniquity, because surely she was established on robbery, kidnapping, rape, pillaging, and the transportation of our ancestors some 13,000 miles against their will. How did we all come here? Did we come via Pan America, U.S. Air, TWA? We all came in the holes of the ships. We are the living testimony that America does, in fact, owe us, and we are the living example to her crime. A crime, beloved, has been committed. The Durban 400
members of MBUF, members of NCOBRA, all ascended in Durban, South Africa last year to push the African nations, lobbying them to declare that the transatlantic slave trade and slavery are a crime against humanity.